Hello everyone, this is Lok. This is patch 0.13. We have a bunch of things in this update, especially bug fixes. We have a ton of bug fixes. Thank you so much to everybody who have highlighted some issues ever since the free mouse mode got implemented. I have gone through most of it and fixed most of the bug fixes now, so I hope they don't happen again for you. You can find a list of bugs that are fixed in the release notes when the software goes live. First thing I want to note, there was a problem with Macintosh users. Every time I issue a patch, the presets, the quick menu, and the general settings are all lost. And because of the nature of how the Macintosh file system and how Steam how Steam distributes the application, I had to implement a workaround. And so I've highlighted here, if you're on a Mac OS, please go to Discord and look at the document, the PDF document that I've posted there. It will highlight how you should go in and find your settings and preset files and copy them out. And then once the 0.13 patch is applied, you just copy those into a specific folder and you get all your settings back. And that's the only way I could do it. I'm sorry you have to go through these hoops to get that done. So yeah, so that's it. So let's take a look at the new features. First one, a bunch of new props. The first two props are requested by the Macau shooters, the airsoft shooters. These are the stars with upright targets. So if you go over to IPSC, there's a IPSC Mini Star target now. It looks like this. And then associated ISMOC, if you're shooting airsoft, you also see the same prop, just that now implemented it in two different versions. So if you hook it up like this and you go to simulation mode, you can see how they work, right? So they basically swing like that, and the targets remain upright. I guess in accordance to IPSC rules, right? You cannot have an IPSC target bend more than, I can't remember how many degrees it is, but yeah, you can't have that turnover. So yeah. So these are the two new props here, and then somebody requested for a wall with the port at the bottom of it. You could have taken the wall with the port on top and then rotate it around, but then yeah, so I guess this is much easier. Okay, cool. So now let's look at new functionalities. The other thing is people have been reporting issues with trying to change the size of a prop, you know, like how you can drop props and then you can hit your arrow key to change the size. Now we have a three-way, or basically a dialog box. So if you hit any of the arrow keys to change size, now you have this resize prop. You can still use the arrow keys to resize if you want, but now you have better control. So if, let's say, I want to increase the width, I can just hit this to increase the width. I want to increase, I can move around. I want to increase the depth, I can do that, or even increase the height like that, right? So now you have better control. You can also specify here. I can type in 2.5 whatever, and then that becomes that big. Yeah, so now we have this dialog box. It works for all props that are resizable, so you can now have better control with your resize. The other thing also that's pretty cool, let me just delete this to get out of the way. So in the past you have multi-select, right? So if you hold on shift and you click, this is to do multi-select. Now when you click on the selected object, it will unselect it. So this is just standard multi-select fare, I guess. So yeah, so now you can do this, and everything else is exactly the same. Now you have a lot more control over what objects you pick and what objects you don't. And the last piece, somebody requested to bring back the fixed fault lines. I removed the fixed fault lines because those are non-resizable. So if you go over to stage markers, you see I brought back all the different fixed fault lines. Some users prefer to use fixed fault lines for some reason, so I just brought it back. But if you really want, the best way to build fault lines is to hit F7 and go to draw fault lines. Here it's a lot more easier for you to draw. You can draw boxes, you can draw straight lines. There are 45-degree increments like this, so you get more control. And also you can adjust, you can click and then reposition the fault lines, and it's a lot more flexible than your traditional fixed fault lines. So that's it. That's all I have for update 0.13. Please, for those of you on Macintosh, please let me know how your presets and settings, whether they're preserved or not. If they don't, then please go to our Discord server. The link to the Discord server is in the YouTube description below. I also like to take the opportunity to thank our existing Patreon subscribers. I appreciate you all so much for supporting the cause. So again, Much appreciated. And for those of you interested to support the cause, please go visit our Patreon link here and become a patron. So that's all I have for you. Enjoy your shooting weekend. Wishing you lots of alphas and see you on the range.